And I wanted to show you another place that rats, mice, squirrels could enter your house. And I fixed it before, and it's right here. This goes to 2 exhaust fans in the bathrooms, and this thing was flopping, and they all do that. And he climbed right up through on the stucco. These are like little areas for him to put his feet. Boom, 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 straight up. And he went right up in there. So I put that piece of metal mesh in there, screwed it down with a couple screws, and still have it open so that the air can come out, but no rats or mice can go in there. That went up. And I made a whole video series of cleaning out my exhaust fan in the bathrooms and the duct. That was quite something. I've never seen that before. And there was another exhaust here, but this was for the dryer. And I didn't want to cover this one up with metal. I wanted to leave it because you always get dryer fluff and stuff. See all this in the dryer? This kind of stuff, the lint, you know, whatever doesn't catch in your lint screen and your dryer comes out. And if I put a wire mesh there, it's just going to build up there. And Lomi uses the dryer, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a week. Yeah, she washes way too much. I don't know why she does that. And if any mouse or rat went down in there, let's see if I can pull this out. Yeah, it came out. If any rat or mouse crawled up and went in there, they're going to get quite the surprise the very next day. They won't have enough time to build a nest or anything. But with exhaust fans that were in the bathrooms, I didn't even know it until we turned on the exhaust fan one day, and actually the next day, there's all kinds of stuff and rat poop and all kinds of stuff down on the ground. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Pulled the exhaust fan cover off and felt in there and saw these leaves and stuff, so I had to get up in the attic, in the crawl area underneath the floor, and in an attic area, take the plywood off, take all this other stuff off just to access where the exhaust fan pipe was, because I thought it was loose there, and it was all connected, and it came all the way out to here, and I had to take the pipe sections off, and there was all kinds of stuff inside the pipe, which told me that's how they came in, and they went all the way over to the exhaust fan. They couldn't actually get into the attic and cause any more mess. We had other rats and mice that did that, but the ones that came up through here, they just made a nest right by the exhaust fan. Nice cozy little place. And back and forth they ran right through there, just like a little tunnel. Boom, 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 all the way back there. So that's something else you can check as you're checking for limbs and stuff. And later on, I'm gonna end up going through this whole thing, because I still have it looks like there's mouse and rat activity underneath there. We've got some rat traps there and stuff. And actually, I don't see anything right this minute, but I'm going to check one of these days for different openings. Like in here, you possibly have an issue here. Just different places, like underneath the stucco edge. Usually, now here they finished the stucco right to the foundation wall, which is nice. But underneath here, there's a gap. See how far I can push my finger? Let's see here. I pushed up that far, and they overhang that from the foundation, and you should feel the bottom plate that goes all along there on top of the concrete. But in some places, maybe the bottom plate where plumbing has come up or something like that, maybe the bottom plate has a crack in it, and maybe rat or mouse can go up there, find out where that crack is, and then squeeze in there right underneath your wall, let's say, and then jump down into your attic or into underneath your floor, and stuff like that. It's amazing the small little entrances that rats and mice can get into. You wouldn't even believe it until you saw it yourself. Okay, so I'm going to check that too. But today I'm just doing a look-see to see what sort of things I can do. I can trim these off with my trimmers very easily. Then I'll have to get up on a ladder with some loping shears. And see, here's another tree right here. That's up pretty high. That's up pretty high. I don't know if I can get that. I may have to talk to my landscapers and stuff, but I think I want to get all the stuff that I can reach off my ladder. I'm not going to make a video of it or anything, but you know, if you can't get some of these, ask your lawn guy. Usually they have a long extension pole with some loping shear things that they pull with a rope, and it will cut it off. Or maybe they have a little chainsaw with a long extension pole. I've seen those, and they can cut off these. Worst case scenario, they have to go up with a long extension ladder or something. So there's a few ideas for you on preventing mice, rats, squirrels, and things of that nature from getting up into your attic, getting up through your roof, up underneath your tiles, up underneath your overhangs, and then drop down into your attic or whatever it is. Okay? All right. That's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos. Now I got to get back and do that, so that once I get done with all that, when it's nice and shady, I'll get down there and start working on those stairs again. Yeah. Well, I wasn't really going to show you this, but I thought I would show you about how far to cut it back. See, doesn't that look a lot better up in there? And along where this tree was, it was kind of overhanging the roof there. And by the way, all the leaves were filled up on the gutter from here over to there, and I had just tall enough ladder to reach up in there. I got my 8-footer here. Usually I can get just about anything I need in the house. I don't need a bigger one than that. They do sell a 10-footer and a 12-footer, believe it or not. I used to have a 12-footer, and I used it at commercial jobs, working above a T-bar ceiling, getting way up high and that, but usually 8-foot is plenty. And the shears I used, what did I use? Viscas. Let's see how big the hook is, and these are metal. And man, I used to have, remember in the good old days, years ago, they were wood handles, and they didn't have such a big jaw here, and you go down and you think, oh, I'll break it, and your handle breaks because your handles were 5 or 6 years old as it was, and it snapped off. Anyways, I use these two, and I got that, and when I got all done, I just cut it all up. I got a big pile here, and I got a big pile here. Next time my landscape maintenance guy comes, he'll just lay his drop cloth right here, load it all up. I've already kind of helped him because it's small stuff, and he can load it up on there nice and easy, throw it in his truck. And if you're doing everything yourself, you get little piles like this, throw it in your garbage can. If your garbage can is too full, wait and load up half of it one week and half another week. That's all you got to do. You don't have to pay and try to rent a truck and take it to the dump and all that kind of stuff. See, I cut that back up there, and remember that tree in there, how close it was to the roof? Ooh! Look, there he goes. Those are quails. California, that's a state bird, I think. State bird, California quail. Anyways, I cut all that stuff back. I cut it back off of there. This tree here was really super close, and that gutter up there is full of leaves too, by the way. I probably should put some leaf guards on the gutters, and I might end up thinking about that. But you know, before the winter, you want to get up there and clean those. If you can't reach it, have somebody else do it. That could get all full, and it could bow your gutter down, or it could build up in there and overflow and do some more damage. That way you don't get the downspout clogged too. If you leave too much stuff in there, you might think it's all out, and then your downspout gets all clogged up. Then you got to mess around with that. But anyways, I got that all cut back a lot nicer than it was before. I just reached up there as high as I could with my 8-foot ladder. And so anywho, you can see how far I cut it off of the roof there. I don't want anything climbing up there like rats or squirrels jumping. They can get up on here and then they can jump. Did you know that? You got this too close, they can jump, or if you got something draped over there, they can just climb up the tree, just like they can climb up a stucco wall. Like this, you may think, oh, how can they climb up a stucco wall? But see all those nodules on there? They just zip right on up here. And so now I've got all that kind of stuff out of there, and I'm ready to do something else. Alrighty. Now here's a tip for you. Before you put these away, I'm gonna clean them off, and then I'm gonna spray a little bit of silicone spray or WD-40 on here, and run them back and forth and stuff so they don't get all gummed up, and wipe them down with some paper towels and stuff, and have it all ready for the next time. Do good with your tools, and your tools will do you right. Well, that's all I have for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.